Jesse, are you ready for a juicy bits?
Yeah, Reese. Let's fucking do this shit. Let's go.
I'm very, very proud of the title. This one's called A Rink in the Clink. Any guesses on what that means?
Nope. Not gonna guess.
It's not innuendo either.
A rink? I don't know. It's just like an ice rink inside of a jail?
Yay! You did it. Juicy bit.
Canadian politics is boring. Juicy bits.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.
Hello and welcome to Canadian Politics is Boring Juicy Bits, the shorter, more current, kind of response to news than our normal show, with me, Reese Waters, and the Spanish-dwelling Jesse Harley.
Hello.
So you're in a small Spanish apartment. How is it?
It's great. It's wonderful. I'm just chilling out on the beach for like a couple of weeks. I went, did a meetup online, one of those meetup groups, and we played volleyball. And I sprained my toe yesterday or 2 days ago, and it sucks. I'm limping everywhere. Yeah, but that's okay. I'm going to meet up for board games on Thursday, and it's fun times.
So have you made some new friends?
I mean, as much as you can call them friends when you're traveling, because like the reality is
transient companions. Is that
essentially, yes. Yeah. Because like, I'll hang out with them. I'll have drinks. I'll have dinner. We'll play games. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll have laughs. We'll talk, and then I'll probably never see them again.
Oh, it's like you're a serial killer, but you don't kill them. You just let them go on their way.
Sure. Yeah, anyway. It's weird on Reese.
Why?
No, I love it. It's great.
Okay, great. You're welcome. So Jesse, I teased the title, A Rink in the Clink, and you kind of guessed what the title was. Mm-hmm. So basically, this is a conservative MP who sounds like a gangster. His name's Frank Caputo.
It does sound like a gangster.
Frank Caputo sleeps with our fishes, you motherfucker. If you know what I mean.
Yep.
It's a cool name. I like it. I wish
that's cool.
Name.
Yeah,
anyway.
You do have a cool name. What are you talking about?
So there's a convicted serial rapist and murderer called Paul Bernardo, who is being transferred from a high security prison to a medium security prison in Ontario to Quebec. So this medium security prison is called the La Masca Institution. It's just north of Montreal.
Okay.
So the Conservative MP, there's been a lot of angry people saying, why is he being allowed to go to a less secure prison? And for reasons that are complicated and how you measure someone's behavior and conduct within the prison system, he's allowed to go there for those reasons. But this Conservative MP, Frank Caputo, he went to the prison to inspect it and did an 11-minute social media video touring it, and kind of was ranting about some of the things that are going on in the prison.
Okay.
And
this is the guy in charge of transferring the criminal. Yeah.
No, he was basically he's not in charge of transferring the criminal. He's just an MP who was part of the angry MPs. That he's going to a medium security prison.
Oh, I see. Okay, I wasn't paying attention.
I just to say, but I don't know. I don't know a lot about the case. I do know that he killed teenage girls, and that this guy's probably he's probably safer in prison. But I don't understand we can't know the full context of why he's going to the
right.
Doesn't stop politicians from getting angry and walking around with video cameras or just with their cameras on their phones.
So he's upset that he's being transferred to a medium security prison instead of was he like an ideal inmate or something, and they're like, all right, well,
maybe he's like medicated and had years of therapy, and maybe he's kind of you don't know.
You're guessing. You
have no idea.
Maybe he's just annoying. Maybe he's like really stinky farts and they just wanted to get rid of him.
Maybe he fell over and banged his head, doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's more like
threat to nobody. So
I was curious. I was curious about that. I wanted to make a movie about that. Like, if you were a serial killer for years and then you hit your head and you get total amnesia, would you still kill people?
Would you still kill people?
Do you know what I mean? Like if you completely forgot who you were, you lost all of your memories, but you were what you were was a serial killer. Like
I guess if it's like
would you instinctually be drawn to murdering people, or is that? Do you know what I mean? Do you see where I'm going with that?
I guess so. I think that I personally feel like it depends on whether it's like a base urge. Is it trauma that happened and you forget the trauma and then you don't do it anymore? Or is it more to do with the fact that you have this kind of base urge? I don't know. I'm not a psychologist.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah. Just so you know, I'm not an expert in this. And I haven't done extensive research on inmates and serial killers to give you an opinion, but I did anyway. So
this shocks me.
Yes, like most podcasts.
Yep.
I'll still give you my opinion. So he was angry because he described what shocked him was that the prison has an ice rink, which can be also used for tennis in the summer.
That's kind of amazing.
And he described it as taxpayer-funded serial pickup hockey. Or taxpayer-funded serial killer pickup hockey.
Serial killer pickup hockey, yeah.
And I honestly, I went to Google Maps to find the prison, and you can see it from space with the powerful Google cameras or whatever they are. And you can see the ice rink right in the middle of the prison. It's almost as big as most of the buildings there.
That's amazing.
But it looks like it's got the lines.
Reminds me of Camp 20.
Yes, exactly. They box for the bear.
If you're new or even newish, if you've only been listening for a little while, go back to our first year.
Yeah, Camp 20.
Camp 20. It's a treat.
It was all downhill from there, to be honest. So some notes on the Lamazka prison.
Okay.
It is right next to an airport, and there's an Enterprise rent-a-car, which is really stupid. If you want to escape prison, there's literally an airstrip, and you can rent a car. It's in the middle of nowhere, but the only thing that is near it is both of those things.
That's really funny. That's very funny. I like that.
And the other, I guess it makes it easy to fly people in. And the other thing is, I was so disappointed that no one's reviewed it on Google. So I got to review the prison on Google.
That's funny.
So I'll put the link in the show notes. So if you want to leave reviews about how good it is to play hockey there on Google Maps, that would be great.
Oh my God. Yes. Please, dear listener, please review the hockey rink in the prison. Or just like, that's amazing. So which country is it in? I don't know which one it is. It's like it's like either Switzerland or Sweden or something like that, where their prison system is like a luxury hotel. And apparently it is incredibly effective. Like they treat their criminals, like they just show them what it's like to be treated well, like a decent human being, like good food and good manners and all that stuff. And apparently it's like has an incredible rehabilitative effect on the criminals. I don't know which country. I'm sure you've heard of this though, Reese. Yeah,
just prisons that treat the prisoners like well, so that they can develop and grow and change and break the cycle.
Like a lot of, from what I've been told, like a lot of criminal activity, is based on how they were raised as like lower than like, shitty parents, shitty system, shitty.
Yeah.
Everything's shitty. And so they feel, you know what I mean? Like they're not, so to go to a prison where suddenly they're treated well, treated nicely with respect and consideration and like they're human beings that deserve, niceties, it was like the first step in like I don't know which country this is, but this is a thing. This is an actual fucking thing. I thought you would have heard of this.
Well, it's probably the Scandinavian countries have prisons that are offer that kind of thing.
Like almost spa-like,
Well, I mean...
And you want to kind of break a window in a car just to go there for the weekend.
Exactly. I just need some peace and quiet, some time away from the kids. But the thing is that this is interesting because it's this prison. I mean, prison is prison. Remember we did the one about the whole penitentiary comes from penance, where, originally prisons, you were left alone with your thoughts, and then they introduced a Bible and you weren't allowed to see anyone or talk to anyone. And our prisons are basically, is it an institute that reforms people and helps them
Is it to keep them away from us, or is it to reform them so that they can re-enter society? Like, which is it, right? And
Exactly. And I think that is where this comes in. Like, this guy's angry because this serial killer rapist might be able to play hockey. But the prison
they're
said
not releasing him.
No, the prison said there hasn't been any decent ice for the last 2 years, so don't worry, no one's playing hockey right now. But that in principle, like the idea that like should people be? I mean, maybe he shouldn't be allowed, but maybe there are other people who just, I don't know, just defrauded 100 people's mortgages. Maybe they could play hockey. Like shouldn't they be allowed to play hockey? White collar crime, shouldn't you be allowed to play hockey?
It's interesting how, like,
did you steal a TV? You can play
this
hockey.
man is not being released. I'm assuming he's probably there for life.
Well, he hasn't been signed by the Calgary Flames.
Right, yeah, exactly. And it's like he's murdered several people, so he's probably never going to leave prison.
No.
So this MP is upset at this man's level of punishment, which he, the MP, did not get a chance to choose, I guess. Like it's kind of strange. You know what I mean? Like it's
but the other thing is, should you leave them there with nothing to do? Like I can't imagine the illusion that prison is somehow cushy and fun. I'm baffled that anyone would come to that conclusion. If you speak to anyone who's been to prison,
in North America, but outside of North America, it is in certain places.
but I guess the approach there is that it's a place where you go to get kind of you do deal with the issues and you try and break the cycle. I think this is the idea that people are there to be punished for the rest of their lives or for years and years.
It's a constant eternal struggle of nonstop punishment, and this is what people want for them because and
there's no one same prisoner. Maybe some prisoners deserve to be punished, and maybe some prisoners don't, and they just need a fresh start. Like, if you want to get into like the philosophy of this, right? Like a punishment is meant to deter. Yes.
Right? It's meant to deter. It's meant to change your behavior. A non-stop punishment for the rest of your life is really to appease the people putting you in there.
Yes.
It's to make them feel better. It's not to change you. Because if you're never going, you know what I mean? Like that's for somebody else. That's
generally speaking,
feel better for putting someone else in there.
I don't think society wants to make him better. I kind of feel like society, generally speaking, because of the things he did, that shouldn't. Generally, the consensus is he should be there and not out. And,
right.
Agreed. Because I can't even imagine what it's like to be a family member of those people if all that happened. But to be angry that some people in the prison, an ice rink and tennis courts exist in a prison I still find bizarre. It's like, I just imagine Frank like smashing a Scrabble and like just kind of.
It's interesting. Like it's the fact that like the whole the whole vengeance thing that never. What is it? Like you hear it in movies all the time. I don't know if it's true. Like I got revenge on the person who killed my father and it didn't take the pain away. You've seen that in 1,000 movies.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I don't know if it's actually true. I'm assuming it is. Like usually fiction derives from truth somewhere, usually, right? So to wish someone pain and suffering for the remainder of their life to make you feel better about what happened, I don't think is going to be effective or for anybody.
Yeah.
This is a comedy show. What are we doing?
Do you know what it reminded me of though? So there's a rundown ice rink that hasn't been used for 2 years because it doesn't look pretty. Like it's just literally just there. It reminds me, but the perception of what prison's like reminds me of Naked Gun 33 1/3. I don't know if you see when Frank Drebin goes undercover and he's in the prison yard where people are like doing weights and looking threatening, and there are prisoners doing like hopscotch and playing Twister in the background.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I love those films.
It's amazing. And then someone's doing a high jump over the wall. Things like that in the background.
Did you know that they're remaking the Naked Gun movies, and who's going to be playing Frank Drebin?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you're going to love it. It's a good one.
Who?
It's good. Take a guess.
Not that guy from the Adam Sandler films. What's his
Adam
name?
Sandler films.
The one who's like a Trump fan. What's his name? I don't know. Just tell me. End my pain.
Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's going to be Frank Drebin. Come on now. That's great.
The guy from Taken, the pensioner who kills people.
Yes.
Angry old man.
I think it's going to be great.
If you like angry old men killing people, there's a great film called Harry Brown. I don't know if you've seen, if you heard of it. It's a low-budget British film starring Michael Caine, and he is an old man who lives in a kind of like public housing, like council estate, you call it in the UK. And he was SAS, like special forces in his day, and these are kind of like street gangs, and he kind of goes against the street gang with all this kind of military training, but he's like super old.
Wow.
Pretty good film. Harry Brown.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, good film recommendation. But anyway, I think prisoners should be allowed to play Twister. Well, not all of them. That's my opinion. Not the bad ones. Only the good ones can. The good ones that we've decided are nice can do Twister, and then no Twister or hockey for the ones we've all decided are bad.
Right. Yeah.
It's that simple.
I like this, Reese. This is good.
Yeah.
Should write this down.
And also, don't build an airport on a car rental next to a prison.
Yeah, that's funny.
So there we go. I'm done. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. That was good.
Yeah, cool. What are you doing next?
I mean, like, I'm going to Morocco.
Nice.
In like a week, less than a week.
If you didn't like getting hassled in Italy, did you?
I didn't like what?
Getting hassled. People wanting to buy stuff in Italy.
I didn't. I realize it's going to be worse in Morocco. I've read about it.
Oh, yeah. You won't like Morocco on those terms. I mean, it's a beautiful country. Very nice people. But you might not like the amount of hassle sales.
I've gotten used to it, honestly. The hassling's it's still here in Spain. It's like, it's part of the culture. You sell to tourists. I get it. Right? Like it's, But
they go, look, there's a Canadian. Quick. Let's get his Canadian money.
Yeah. It's the maple leaf tattooed on my forehead that gives it away, I think.
Well, but at least other Canadians can identify you.
There was I was sitting with dinner with the volleyball players, and there was an American, and he's like, "So where in the States are you from?" I'm like, "I'm not from the States." He's like, "You're not?" I'm like, "I'm not." You're not from America? I'm like, "I'm not from America." He's like, well, where are you from? And someone else just like was like, he's Canadian. He's like, fuck, right, of course. Yeah, that place that we can constantly forget exists.
The other one.
Oh, it was fun.
God.
It's okay. I think I'm going to just chill tonight. I don't know. I was at a zoo. There's a tiny zoo in Fuengirola, nice. Which is like, it's small.
I love small zoos, lovely for animal abuse.
But I typically don't like zoos because they're so, for that reason. But like the enclosures were.
I say large. That I go to zoos whenever there's a zoo. I'm going, let's go to the zoo.
Yeah.
Look,
well, these enclosures were large, and I read all the plaques, and the zoo was a deeply part of conservation.
I mean, they all say that.
They all say that, yeah. But like, I don't know. It seems like I want to believe them. These are
it's like
a lot of endangered species here that they try to encourage reproduction from. And they also they're part of like the European conservation effort sort of thing, whatever union that is. So it was kind of nice, and like it was, I don't know, it was neat. It was really neat.
When I go to prisons, they say they're about conserving humans.
Yeah, nice turning that around, Reese. That was good.
No problem. A little call back to the story, nicely tied up in a neat little bow. My work here is done. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck off. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Go to our website and buy tickets if you're in Halifax in May.
And if you're not, get a plane ticket and a ticket.
There you go.
2 tickets.
Right? 2 tickets.
2 pockets, one each side. No excuse. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Canadian politics is boring, juicy bits.